Hey guys, welcome back to the League Review. Here we have the 1300s match. Oh god, I need to fix the cropping. Oh no. Hold on. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so this one was sent to me by Mathblitz. So Mathblitz is one of the newer players from that just started playing this year. As his opponent Tordred is one of the newer players too. But both of them have shot up in the fog ratings, especially. And yeah, so this is a fog match between the two of them. This will be really interesting to see. Tordred kind of historically has an interesting kind of like had an interesting rise where like he went really heavy into building tanks and very aggressive fog player for a while, until everyone kind of realized that he really liked tank spam, and then people kind of like built specifically to counter tank spam, and then he sort of, he climbed to #1, and then he dropped to like top 10, and I think that since then he's been trying to refine his fog to be a lot more balanced. But he's an excellent standard player as well. I'm not sure if he's touched high funds yet. Mathblitz, I'm not too sure if he's done much in the way of standard, but I know in fog, he definitely, I see him talking to Cant Bay a lot about openings and studying replays. So both these guys are very high level, and it'll be great to see how this game comes out. So the map here is splintered. We've featured this one for sure before. I think we may have also seen Max versus Eagle here last time it was shown. So Eagle, like, this is a little out of my comfort zone. I've been like lowering my game count a lot, so there's like I don't have lots of experience on lots of maps. But Eagle has some ideas here where like it does kind of stall a bit, especially this bridge here is only a 2-tile choke, and then this area here is not so hard to defend. Especially, well, it's your 2 base side, so you're probably not on your back foot here anyways. And then, similarly, if you're defending from the 1 base side, this 2-tile choke is not so hard to defend. This is not so hard to ball up on. You can point an artillery at your HQ and just kind of like sit back and let things happen. So yeah, Eagle kind of makes sense here from that perspective. Max also, I mean, oftentimes a great choice in fog, just like being able to one-shot things is huge. So yeah, Max, not so infrequently a good pick, I think. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so the first move's here, capturing out this way. This seems to make sense. You can, it's like a longer chain. You can do capture, maybe go up here and capture. So 3 chain is pretty sick. You could potentially go back and go for a 4 chain if you're really feeling yourself. Although it is like less tempo because your infantry is further on the back. Your first infantry is not on the front lines. So yeah, it's like I don't know if like this has been pretty well figured out or not, but looks like both of them go for the same opening. It's like both infantry also go for this back capture too. It looks like it can chain into this city here. which seems pretty good. And then potentially go forward and capture stuff that's over in this area. Okay, interestingly, this second infantry out of this base doesn't go for the nearby capture. Potentially looking to do city capture into comm tower, which would make the most sense. The comm tower can be pretty contestable, especially like you could do early recon to contest it. So yeah, we'll see if any early recons get involved. There could be a recon day 3 here. Okay, so no day 3 recon. Yeah, and actually both of them mirror this, so this looks like it's fog knowledge here. And actually Torchlight does go for the day 3 recon, or day 4 recon. Looking to, it looks like it'll get there in time to contest the comm tower. Okay, Math Blitz actually going for an artillery, which seems to suit Eagle more. It's kind of more his style. It'll be interesting though to see what it does this early in the game, though. If it points at the comm tower, which looks like it would be a little hard to defend that far out. Like in the long term, it makes sense, but just in the short term, I wonder what it'll be able to get done. So Tordred following up the recon with the tank. The recon actually looks pretty early to capture the recon looks early to interrupt the comm tower. It would have had to be first infantry to like first infantry to this city in order to interrupt that. So maybe the recon is this early in order to catch the infantry going turn 1 to the comm tower chain. Okay, so Tordred so far has sunk all of his vehicle money into denying this comm tower, it looks like so far. And Math Blitz has kind of done the same thing, but going artillery recon instead of tank recon. So importantly, also, this infantry decided not to go for the cap. It would have died immediately, although it would have gotten a lot of information about what's there. Because it dies to both tank and recon. So now Tordred gets information on both the artillery and the recon. Okay. So Mathlet's kind of going for his first mind game here. Going for artillery instead of a tank. Kind of acknowledging that the recon could one-shot the infantry, so retreating a square into like a safe area that a tank could back it up. But actually not building a tank, instead going for an artillery, which pretty bold. instead going for a tank on his strong side. Okay, so Torchwood has like a pretty scary force here of 3 tanks. Um, with the B-copter being the only thing on his weak side. Pretty unfortunate that Math doesn't get this 2-hit KO onto the infantry, because now it gets to see literally everything, even knowing what's in this forest. And seeing this tank too, so yeah, this infantry is pretty clutch. Okay, so actually Tordred here looks like he's shifting to the HQ side after sort of, presumably after seeing this infantry's, vision. Um, Not really getting a scout out on any of the vehicles on the right-hand side, but I guess it's always like front switching is always pretty powerful in that you can catch people by surprise. So sort of like setting up for a bit of a surprise here with moving his vehicles to the left. Although he hasn't committed all the way, so he doesn't have to go completely there. So Mathwit's going for like a pretty aggressive formation here. Recon goes deep to pick off this infantry, and then is supported by an sorry, it's called an artillery, and only 2 tanks. Whereas Tordred has a lot more stuff. Just and actually has a B-copter that he doesn't know doesn't have a counter. Um, so there could be if Tordred calls the bluff here, it could be pretty dangerous for Mathlitz. It looks like he's going to go for it. So going for the artillery there. And the tank doesn't reach the other tank. Oh, I see. So both tanks were only in range of the recon. Yeah, if this tank was 1 tile over, it could have been a real disaster for Mathblitz. Okay, so now Mathblitz. At least there's a good city tile for the artillery to defend from. But seeing 3 tanks and a B-copter with the anti-auto position is like a bit scary, so we'll see what Mathblitz decides to do here. So Mathblitz actually rotates a tank from the right-hand side up to the left to cover. And then sort of goes for the safer play, going for a second anti-air. Being careful about second B-copter from Tordred, which he accurately predicts is on the way. Okay, so now pretty much everything for Math Blitz is in trouble. Red is kind of struggling here. I mean, there is the kill from the forest. So yeah, all this attacking has actually gone down with Tordred having no tower until now. So that is a nice pickup. Things could have been a lot worse if Max had a tower. Just like a lot more residual chip on those tanks. So yeah, interestingly, continuing the attack on the one base side for Tordred could put him in danger later on if he doesn't like continue to whittle down this big army. So Math Blitz still is in the advantage, like from a base reinforcement sense, if he attacks and fights in this area. Just he might not have the army value for it at the moment. Yeah, so double tank into double tank is exactly what I was talking about when it comes to like suddenly being able to reinforce this army strongly. So Tortred might be a little bit far forward here. So if he takes the bait and attacks into this, he could be in trouble, especially with lightning strike coming up. Okay, well Max Force tells me that there might be an attack here. Okay, so crucially, this anti-air in the forest is protecting this anti-air. So both of them are safe together. And Eagle is pretty close to Lightning Strike. And I'm pretty certain he'll be able to get it this turn with the two copters in range of the two anti-air. So yeah, actually looking like there's going to be quite a lot of damage from Lightning Strike here. He could even do things like leave this tank alone and then build a tank from this base to go hit it from the city. So yeah, this could be a pretty devastating Lightning Strike. Okay, just an optimization. Um, I probably would have put the infantry on the mountain first. And then probably attack with the infantry after Lightning Strike so that you KO it. Because I can only imagine you're going to Lightning Strike this turn. Math Blitz, so... Okay, I think I probably would have done that. Done this attack differently. You didn't need to put so much damage on your own tanks. Um, you could instead of spreading out the damage, you could go for one of the shots being a KO. And in that case, you don't have like 3 HP missing off of a tank. Okay, yeah, lightning strike. Ooh, already ahead in unit value. That's a good sign for Math Blitz here. Okay, so the air is completely wiped out. So the buys were actually tank from the back base, which I think is kind of interesting. Kind of would have rather... Oh, wait, hold on. It was 2 tanks. Yeah. There's that other tank from the base. Okay, what am I saying? Yeah, so now a Tortred has 1 tank. That's at 1 HP. Yeah, it's less than half the unit value, so this looks pretty GG. Okay, yeah. GG. So okay, this is like a pretty fun one. Like I think that oftentimes when you see Max versus Eagle, this turn here where you go for the power. Wait, have I actually reviewed this game before? Oh my god, I'm going crazy. If so, I don't remember. Okay, so it's new to me. Maybe it's new to you too. Anyways, yeah, when you go for the lightning strike, well, no, when you go for the max force to like sort of break the position before the lightning strike, um, it usually wins you the game because usually Eagle doesn't have enough stuff left. But in this case, Tordred kind of failed to recognize that he was attacking into 2 bases, and Math Blitz was wise enough to do 2 tank on those 2 bases, and then follow it up with 2 tanks from Lightning Strike. So that was responsible for. I mean, these back tanks were responsible for. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're responsible for 6 tank on tank strikes. Which is really, really hard to deal with. It's just pushed a little bit too deep. Maybe if it was pushed to the right to like clean up all the stuff over here, it could have been all right. But sort of going deep into the 2 base territory when it happens to be a 2 tank build to push you out into lightning strike, it just didn't work out. But yeah, well played to Math Blitz finding that lightning strike, and then it's really hard to survive too against Max to get to lightning strike. It can be easy to just like allow too much stuff to die and then you're totally sunk. But finding that balance is challenging, but when it works, it's super cool. So yeah, thanks for tuning into the 1300. Next up, we'll have the 1400.